What is up, my dogs? Welcome to episode 12 of Very Good Cocktails. I'm Alex Vasili. We are here from the beautiful Gold Diggers Hotel Bar and Grill. I'm kidding. It's a beautiful bar, hotel, and recording studio here in East Hollywood, California. I've got Trent here to my left.
What's up?
You're right. I've got Autumn over here answering questions in the chat.
Hey.
And then I've got Brittany representing the Gold Diggers staff over here hanging. We're so pumped to be here today for so many reasons. One, obviously, we're going to be making some very, very good cocktails. Two, we are sort of celebrating, well, we're not sort of, we're very much celebrating the 28th birthday of my dear friend LaRob Payton. Happy birthday to you, my dude. Thank you for reaching out to me with the most exciting part of the episode, in my opinion. We are supporting LaRob's incredible organization called Hearing in Color. LaRob is a very, very talented opera singer, or just singer. He does all sorts of styles. We went to college together, and he works super, super hard around the Chicago community doing right. And what I mean by that, we were literally talking about this a second ago. Normally, when we talk about the beneficiaries of our live streams, I generally have a quick, paraphrased summation of what they do, and I literally could not think of a better way to state what Hearing in Color does than their mission statement. Honestly, listen to this. This is some profound shit, and I am honored to be collecting some donations today for our friend LaRob. So, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Hearing in Color is a Chicago-based organization dedicated to sharing music, stories, and composers that have been historically excluded from musical spaces within its community. Their productions underscore the work of artists who are overlooked in mediums where white-centered experiences are the default. Man, I could talk about this all day, and I'm kind of probably going to during this class, as we should. The first step in recognizing white dominance and white supremacy is having the conversation. It's like an ugly topic because it is so awful, just the entire concept. And I know when people hear people say white supremacy, they think of January 6th and that group of people storming the Capitol and all that. But no, white supremacy is so much deeper than that. It's so much more widespread. It doesn't necessarily mean someone's running around with a burning cross. There's so many more layers and depths of it, which is why I commend LaRob and this organization and organizations like his. Honestly, I take off my cap for even starting the conversation to break down these, not even just I was going to say music, but the arts in general.
Well, and you're bridging into non-violent arenas.
Exactly.
Right? Because there's violent white supremacy that I think of.
Yeah.
But these are spaces where it's a little more difficult and nuanced to get white people to talk about it.
Exactly. Because, white people have been in charge. I mean, if we just talk about symphony orchestras, for example, they only let women in to those within the last 50 years, So there's so much work to be done, and we all know how incremental change is, and how real change takes time. It takes boots on the ground. It takes people giving a damn, and LaRob is one of those people. So I am really proud to be here collecting donations for LaRob and Hearing in Color. You can donate directly through their website. They are a 503B or 503C nonprofit,
503C.
Whichever one it is. They're fast to respond. LaRob is the man. I'm really proud to be here working. Obviously with one of my friends celebrating his birthday, but also his hard work should be commended. So we're going to keep talking about that, but I really want to drink a cocktail, and I'm sure you at home do as well. I know my friends here are thirsty. One little tradition we have here that we didn't do before the show, but normally we do, it's called a snackery. So I'm going to show you guys really, really quickly before we get into depth about how to build cocktails. You can just sort of watch me make one. I'll go over it really, really briefly, but normally I'll make one and we all sort of cheers. Or I'll, and shoot it before the show begins.
It's not really a sipper.
Exactly. So the first thing I'm going to add to any cocktail is the cheapest ingredient. In this case, it is the syrup. It calls for a half an ounce of Demerara sugar because that's what I put on the ingredients list today. Also, if you follow the ingredients list today, you'll notice I forgot to put lime on there. For this daiquiri, but it's okay. You can use lemon. Honestly, one of my favorite things is being as resourceful as possible and making fun things that I didn't think tasted great beforehand, but ended up turning out awesome. So we're gonna rock. If you don't have lime juice at home, you can totally use lemon in this case, and you'll just have a rum sour instead of a daiquiri, which is delightful. Grab your light rum. 2 ounces of that into your shaker. And trust me, I'm going to go into detail. I just really want a daiquiri right now. So here we go. And then 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice. I'm going to grab, you know what, there's 4 of us, so 4 little glasses here.
Unless James rolls in.
James isn't here.
He's not here right now.
Or he's not here in the next 1 minute, so this one is for us. Yeah, so this is our snackery, and then we'll get into the proper cocktail class in just a second. I just want to drink. It's Friday. Hopefully y'all do too. Yeah, right? Okay, cool. There we go. You can use light rum, you can use dark rum. A true daiquiri is just rum, lime, and sugar. That is it. No more, no less. That word has been so bastardized over the years. Daiquiri just means anything frozen in a glass. It's just like not the case.
I thought it exclusively meant blended because of the all-inclusive trips my family was taking me on, where I would steal an adult wristband from the garbage to go get alcohol with.
That's incredible. That brings me great joy.
That's how I saw all the fancy exhibits at Shed Aquarium too. We would just dig the wristband out of the garbage from someone that had already been in.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's a little hack. A little Chicago hack for you there.
Interesting strategies, right? That glass is shit.
Probably not a post-COVID thing to do.
Right? All right, let's say a cheers to LaRob. He's at home. Cheers, LaRob.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I don't know if you guys can see the team
Cheers,
over
cheers,
here.
cheers,
All
cheers.
messed up.
Cheers,
bud.
buddy.
Happy birthday. Let's kick off this class the right way. Ooh, yeah. Little snackery, as we call it. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, to quote Birdman, I'm going to start this shit off right. Yeah, exactly. Rinse my tools. Okay, so the first cocktail we are going to learn together today. I've been stoked to make this cocktail for you guys. It's a super classic, I would say. If you go to a bar with any kind of snuff, meaning if you see pretty bottles like this behind the bartender, odds are they can make a sidecar for you. This is a cognac-based cocktail. This is a shaken cocktail. Today we're going to be shaking 2 cocktails and stirring 2 cocktails, so 2 different styles of preparing the drink. When you're making a cocktail, I say it week after week after week, forever. We want to have what I call the beginning, middle, and end ready to go. So the beginning meaning my ingredients right here, the middle meaning my technique. I'm shaking this cocktail, so my shaking tins in front of me, and then the end, which is the glassware. The last thing you want to do is make your cocktail, get it all shaken, get it beautifully cold and diluted and all that, and then be searching for glassware in your house while your cocktail over dilutes itself after you've shaken it. I'm out of breath from shaking 1 cocktail, and that is totally sad. Oh my god, dude, this is bad. I need to just sit at home and shake cocktails.
You're gonna have to run that hill.
Exactly.
Down your house.
You know what? I should run up and down hills while shaking cocktails. I think that is an excruciating workout.
Or the weighted vest.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm good on that. Okay, so like I said, beginning, middle, and end. So I've got my beginning. I've got my ingredients. This is a cognac, lemon, triple sec or dry curacao cocktail, and then a tiny bit of sugar to balance it out. So like I said earlier, when building a cocktail, you want to start with the cheapest ingredient. These lemons were free. These were grown on my friend Charlie's tree. So literally the cheapest ingredient we have here. I'm going to pour 3/4 of an ounce into my tin. You can use either side. If you have one of the shakers that's like, that's tall with a small little cap, totally cool as well. I just have a 2 shaker set up. Next, I'm going to grab my sugar. So I'm going to add 1/4 ounce of this Demerara sugar. If you have questions on how to make Demerara sugar, I have a full prep video. You can find it on the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that like and subscribe button. Exactly. We do this every week and it's a lot of fun. But this is just 2 parts high quality Demerara sugar, 1 part water. Very, very simple, easy to make, and doesn't really go bad. At least not as fast as we use it around these parts, right? Next up is one of my favorite ingredients. This is dry curacao. If you have triple sec at home, that's totally cool as well. The difference between this and what you might have in terms of just triple sec is that this is a cognac based orange liqueur, whereas regular triple sec is like is grain neutral, which means that it started off as gin or vodka, generally vodka, and then they add the orange flavor to it. But this starts off as cognac, so it gives it like a little bit more of a warmer, sort of honeyish flavor, I guess you could say, a little bit more depth.
It's a little more, and like more delicate to it.
Yeah,
too.
for sure. And it's
a little prettier.
It's Curacao oranges, which are a little more bitter. So instead of just regular oranges or tangerines or clementines or whatnot. So you can get this at a liquor store. We were literally talking about this yesterday. I bought this bottle a year ago. I am now full-time teaching cocktail classes that are all the time, and in a year, I've used this bottle. So it's $30 for this bottle, which might seem expensive, but it will last you a year, even if you're not teaching cocktail classes to people and using it all the time. It's used in minute amounts, so I could talk all day about this stuff. I'm just going to pour it instead. And this calls for what, 3/4? Yeah. 3/4 of an ounce, which is exactly, wow, that's insane. I wish I could show you guys that. Is literally a perfect 3/4.
Wow.
So say goodbye to this bottle of dry
A
Curacao.
life well lived for her, though.
Honestly, yeah. She's
And you picked a 3/4 pour for her last 3/4.
Yeah,
That's special.
she did a good job. I'll have to go get some more. And if you have any questions, you can email us at alex@verygoodcocktails.com. We've got a new email address for the website and all that. So there we go. And then the last ingredient, I'm going to have Trent pass the Courvoisier, because that's how one gets Courvoisier at the bar. You have it passed to you. So this is cognac. Cognac is not whiskey. A lot of people think it's whiskey. This is made from grapes in a region in France, so it's like a brandy. Some people think cognac is whiskey, and it's got similar notes, so I totally get it, but it's made from grapes, which is kind of fun. And then we're going to shake this cocktail. And I promise not every cocktail will go into this extreme depth. We'll get to drinking here, but if you take nothing else away from this entire class or this entire experience, take this with you and you remember it forever, and I promise your cocktails at home will just be so much better. When we're shaking a cocktail, we are doing 3 things. We're chilling the cocktail, we're diluting the cocktail, so adding water, and we are aerating the cocktail, which means bashing it to pieces and having the ice work as like an air pump, pumping air into the cocktail, bringing it to life in a lot of ways, but also lifting the cocktail, if that makes any sense. It might sound like a bunch of like restaurant bullshit, but honestly, a well aerated cocktail lasts a lot longer when shaken correctly, and it looks prettier, and it doesn't feel like you're just drinking sugar and alcohol, which is really what this is. It just makes for a better experience. So when you watch me shake the cocktail, and for those of you shaking your drink at home, make sure that you're keeping in mind that you want to aerate the cocktail, which means banging the ice against either end of the tin to sort of shatter it and act like a piston, if that makes sense. So like I said, if you remember nothing else from the class, take that with you. So I'm going to fill this 2/3 of the way full with ice. Just like that, and then I'm going to close my tins up. You can't break these. You can try really hard, and you might, if you like stepped on them, you might be able to break them, but I doubt it. You can be rough with these, as you should. So I'm going to stand to the sides profile so you can see how I'm shaking. So you want to listen for that maraca sound, that chicka 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 sound, instead of like swirling. Okay, so like that. Okay, I know it's done because I can hear the air kind of trying to escape because I've aerated it. I can take my fingers, scrape the outside, and get a tiny bit of ice under my fingernails. And then when I open it up, there's like a white, beautiful foam on the inside. Okay, next step that will elevate your cocktails forever from home is double straining this drink. So if I were to just pour this into the glass, we'd have a little sheet of ice crystals on the top, which we do not want in our drink. We want none of that because that will over dilute the drink and throw off the balance. And I'll show you why in a second. As soon as we strain this beautiful honey gold looking
Great
cocktail.
color.
Yeah, look at that. This is such a nice drink.
Oh, wow.
Cool. So, whoops. Normally I pour the ice into my hand and you can see, we'll shake again. you'll see this like ice, sort of like, it looks like shaved ice that we don't want in our cocktail. And by double straining, you get all of that. You can definitely see it in the strainer. And if you don't have a little guy like that, I mean, we were using this one for like pasta for a while. It doesn't really matter the size. You just want something finer than a regular strainer. And so there you go. So you'll notice here, there's like a nice little sheet of bubbles showing up across the top. It's honestly, this cocktail looks really, really beautiful. And some people like to garnish it with an orange peel expressed across the top. I kind of like it no garnish. I just like a clean looking guy. It's totally up to you because you're at home making your own drinks. But yeah, there we have it. A beautiful sidecar. It should be a nice balance of tart and sweet. Who wants this one?
Want a sidecar tea? No? Brittany, want a sidecar?
Yeah, hell yeah. Come on.
I am ready.
There we go. And this is with fresh California lemon. So I kind of overfilled it.
That's a great classic to get a sip of.
That's a good one.
Such a good classic to have.
That's one of my
in the
favorites.
library.
Yeah, totally. And there are a lot of riffs on the sidecar too, which is fun. Yeah, fire, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So a nice way to enjoy cognac that's not just by itself. You know?
Yeah, with your grandpa and a cigar.
Exactly.
And a bunch of like off-color comments.
Yeah, right. Does anyone have any questions or anything?
No, Rashawn says, bro, he's drinking DJ 1942.
Oh, Don Julio, baby. Get it, dude. Happy birthday, man. Rip that stuff. Drink it all day, all night. We are here for it. All right. Next up. Okay. Rob, this one is for you. Wait, Rashawn? Rob?
Yeah.
I'm not
like,
LaRob. I was going to say, I thought you said someone else. Rashawn is here, drinking 1942. Hell yeah, bro. Rashawn and I spent many hours in this bar together, destroying some alcohol, I would say, and then getting up really early to go play some music. It was a good time. Hell yeah.
The old Buddy Rich secret.
Exactly, dude. That old tape. Do you know that tape in the bus?
When he's screaming
yeah,
at it?
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One of my absolute favorites. If I hear one more clam out of any of you.
Dude.
Right? Oh my god. Alright, cool. Here we go. Next up, we're going to make a Toronto. This is a stirred cocktail, so unlike a shaken cocktail, we don't want to aerate it in this case. We want a smooth, even, easy to drink cocktail that it might look like it's just pure alcohol, but it's not. We're going to dilute it. We're going to chill it. It's going to be a lovely experience across the board. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh, and a dog.
Mackenzie, and is that? No way. Is that your new dog?
No.
Oh, okay. We have Mackenzie, who runs this whole place, just came in, and she's been looking for a dog.
I'm babysitting.
Little poodle.
I'm babysitting this one, but I did just come from a puppy appointment, and I am gonna adopt it.
Yes!
Oh, yay!
Oh, I'd love to hear it. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Hi. What sniff?
Everyone, thank you so
You're
much.
sweet.
If you are at home, give a round of applause for this adorable little creature that just ran in. Oh my
Here,
god.
you wanna hold it up?
So cute.
Here.
Oh my.
What's her name?
Oh,
This is Tristan.
my
I don't know where the camera is,
goodness.
but
Oh.
Look at this little pooch.
yeah, poodle.
Look at this little
Little
dog.
mini poodle. Oh.
We have never had
Just
a
wants to
little
cuddle.
The wiggly squiggly one.
in
Just
my
wants to
arms
cuddle.
during a class before, but I
He
love
is
it.
like.
Oh.
Look at him go. He's a vicious attack dog. I love this, dude. Pooch interlude.
That's not a behind bar dog. That's a front of house dog.
That's a front of house
Oh,
dog
wait,
indeed.
Rashawn says hi to you. Rashawn.
Hi,
Rashawn! Hell yeah, man. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, that's maitre d' material.
And LaRob says, let's go.
Let's go!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. Fuck yeah. Alright, cool. So this is a shaken cocktail. Rob, this one is for you. When I asked you what you like to drink, he just said, I like whiskey, which is amazing. We can go so many directions with that. This cocktail is really similar to an old-fashioned, but it is different in flavor profile in a really, really nice way, in my opinion. This cocktail is going to feature Rittenhouse Rye Whiskey, which we love to play with. And it's going to have a really fun, unique ingredient that we have yet to use on the show. Some of you have might seen it if you've been to a 4 a.m. bar before. This is Fernet. Or if you've ever worked in a restaurant or hung out with people who work in restaurants, they drink this shit all the time. This is, I didn't mean to call the Jelinek Fernet shit. This is good Fernet.
That's good.
This is good Fernet. And I'm going to start by pouring a half of an ounce of this into my mixing glass right here. Little dog is so damn cute, Mackenzie.
It's like the most attached thing ever.
Little
Just like
Velcro
hanging
dog.
out, right?
Oh, see, he likes girls. He doesn't like boys.
I know.
Next, I'm going to pour this, I think 2 ounces, right? Yeah, 2 ounces of rye whiskey. It's important to use rye whiskey in this. If you have Canadian whiskey, even better. But generally speaking, it's a really broad generalization to paint all Canadian whiskeys as rye, but more often than not, a Canadian whiskey will be a rye whiskey. So a little more spiced and a little more proof.
They grow a lot up there.
Yes. There you go.
Using the crops.
Next, I'm going to put 2 dashes of Angostura Bitters into this cocktail. A little trick that I always tell bartenders when I'm training them to work in professional settings. This spirit, fluid, bitters, whatever you want to call it, will not come out of your clothes. It will not come out of your skin. Angostura Bitters is an awesome allspice, clove, cinnamon, cardamom, sort of salt and pepper that you would add to a cocktail. From, like I said, from Trinidad. You can do shots of this if you want to, but we're not going to today because I think by the ounce it's one of the most expensive alcohols we have here, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
It would be up there.
Yeah, but when dashing this, though, I make sure that I'm not pointing it out towards the guest or towards anyone else. You want to point it to the side so that if it shoots anywhere, it shoots to the side. Hopefully no one's standing next to you, but we don't want it shooting forward. So if you watch, I put my hand here, and put 2 dashes down like that. It's good to get in the habit of doing that in case it ever shoots out and ruins someone's day. And then last but not least, I'm going to use some of my proprietary syrup in this cocktail, which I suppose now is as good a time as ever to pitch to you guys. But if you guys have followed any of this on social media, this is a proprietary syrup that I make by hand. You can use regular Demerara sugar, no problem right now, but this is like a little bit of a spice note to it that is really, really awesome. I can send this to your house. Go to verygoodcocktails.com and you can check out all the information about the gold-fashioned syrup that we have partnered with Gold Diggers on. It is to die for.
It's delicious.
We've almost sold 200 bottles of it, and we're really proud of it. It's really taken off, and it's really fun to see everyone making very good cocktails at home on their own. Okay, so I have the cocktail built. It's ready to go right here. I'm going to stir this now. So stirring is just like it sounds. Just fill it up with ice. Put your spoon all the way down to the bottom. And if you wanted to, you could just make this and then walk away from it. Give it like a little punch and then walk away. And it'll cook itself. Think of shaking a cocktail like cooking on high heat, like boiling. And think of stirring a cocktail like a low simmer. You're diluting, you're just not going as fast as shaking, and you're not aerating. We want this to be a really smooth, sort of even flow. And I'm chilling the glass here with a couple ice cubes. Not really necessary because this cocktail is going to go on the rocks. But generally speaking, if I'm going to let it sit, I'll let it sit for like 45 seconds without touching it. And if I'm going to stir it, I'm going to stir it nonstop for about 25 or 30 seconds. So early days, I would sit there with a timer. Just for consistency. And one thing you want to make sure you're doing is using a glass for this. My metaphor for that is if you've ever made marinara sauce before and put it into a plastic Tupperware container, it gets that like red sort of tomato scuzziness on it, which
looks like Donald Trump's face.
There you go, exactly. A little less evil though, a little more tasty.
Yeah.
With glass doesn't hold on to those flavors. So if you're stirring in a plastic container, you're going to get those off flavors from plastic. So just make sure you're using glass if you can. We're getting there, starting to get kind of cold on the outside. We don't want this cocktail to burn at all. It should be really, really easy to drink. That is why we stir before we pour onto ice. All right, I think we're about there. Cool. I'm going to toss this ice, and now I'm going to strain this drink into the glass. And notice I put Demerara or maple syrup. Super traditionalists will use maple syrup in this cocktail, as it is like a Toronto. It's Canadian. They make and love maple syrup. We've all seen Super Troopers, where they
Chugging
they
it.
chug it. Yeah, right.
You did that in college. Come on.
Totally chug maple syrup in college for sure. Pass me that knife really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to garnish this one with a lemon expressed across the top, a lemon peel. So just get a really thin piece of lemon peel, just like a tiny one. You don't need a huge piece. And then squeeze the peel over the cocktail. And this is like a restaurant hack. It's what they do to get the smell of lemon without giving it the flavor of lemon. Just using the peel. Trent, I see you eyeing this one. You want this one?
I'll take it unless
Yeah,
Teague really wants it.
You
sure?
want this one, Mackenzie? You good? Or?
Go for it.
Yeah? There you go.
All right.
There you go. One
I've
Toronto.
Drank a few brown liquids in my day. Cheers, brother.
One of my favorites, dude.
I'm stoked.
So it'll have like a distant like mint chocolatey flavor almost from that Fernet. It has a lot from the syrup.
That's really nice.
Is it? Yeah, it's probably pretty easy to drink, honestly. All right, and next is the shot donation spree. Let's go.
Oh.
Here we go, dude. I caught you off guard, Trent. There it is. Yeah, dude. All right.
I got two different apps going right now because I got my cha-ching just in case.
Oh, sure. Sound effects here. Okay, so this is the part of the show. We have decided, instead of talking Blue Streak about a particular topic, instead we're going to dispel a myth about cocktail drinking or culinary service or the service
restaurant
industry.
etiquette.
Exactly.
Political myths.
Yeah, or just more about like restaurant etiquette and stuff, or like alcohol myths.
Yeah.
Today we decided it came to mind because I saw it on Reddit. Someone was talking about it. I'm going to dispel this myth once and for all. If you are really, really intoxicated, or your friend is really, really intoxicated, feeding them bread is not going to soak up the alcohol. It's not going to make them any better. It's not going to do jack shit. All it does is maybe give your body some energy for the next day when they're battling the dehydration. Honestly, like the only thing that sobers you up, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, the only thing that sobers you up is time.
Yep.
It's time. So if you're drinking and driving or whatever, saying, I'll have some coffee and get behind the wheel, no, then you're just wide awake drunk. Mm-hmm. This is not an argument. These are facts.
Yeah. And water will only help with the hangover.
Exactly.
But not how plastered you are currently
exactly.
at the bar.
So it is, if your friend is really, really under the influence or just like completely gone, not talking or breathing, maybe don't try feeding them bread. The ambulance, as Brittany said, the ambulance isn't showing up with loaves of bread.
White or wheat?
Exactly, white or wheat, dude. No. Eating a bunch of crackers or bread doesn't soak up the alcohol.
No.
However, going into a night of drinking with a full stomach is beneficial to you just because your body has the energy it needs to process and break down the alcohol. Oh, God, I feel so good saying that.
Yeah.
What's so great is like telling people at a bar, like telling your guests that at a bar. They don't want to hear that shit. No one wants to hear, what happens when you drink too much. But we're here to dispel those myths week after week after week. And that is a good one to start off with. With that being said, you guys want to do a shot?
Yeah, dude.
Let's do a shot of Fernet. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lightweight.
Right?
What Fernet bottle is that?
This is the Jelinek, or Jelinek, as Trent said.
Yeah, Jelinek.
It's a Czech Fernet. It's awesome.
I thought for some reason Fernet was the name of the specific.
Oh,
Like only
Fernet
Branca.
Branca.
They pulled a...
I didn't realize that was like a name of a spirit.
Right.
They've pulled a Sharpie on us.
Right.
Where it's like the permanent
Kleenex.
marker,
Yeah.
Kleenex.
Xerox.
Xerox.
Yeah.
They monopolized
This is
Yeah.
dispelling myths on myths.
What's that?
Multiple myths.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, another
We're
layer.
going deep now.
Indeed, another layer. This is, so perfect example. This is $20 at a liquor store, which is a bargain. I think it's a liter.
Yeah.
No, it's a $7.50.
It's up there, yeah.
But Fernet Branca is $35. This is $20 for the same amount of liquid. Arguably, Fernet Branca is great. We all love it. It's got a place in tradition.
But it don't play well with others.
Like
Jelinek does.
It can
You
dominate.
can throw it in a few things.
Yeah.
But
like your liver. At
Like
4
your
in the morning
liver.
when you're closing down the owl.
Bartender's best friend.
Indeed. Honestly, I love it. It's supposed to settle your stomach. All that,
Well,
whatever. Those,
I poured probably about 500 milliliters of Fernet onto the ground at the Owl when a bartender slid me a shot, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, right, exactly. Cheers, Mackenzie. Good to see you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to the little pooch.
Cheers.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. And cheers to you at home for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, LaRob. Cheers to Hearing in Color. We're so proud to be donating
Yeah.
some money to a really awesome cause. Cheers. Here we go.
Cheers.
Ah, so easy, so rich, so
Yeah.
chocolatey, so caramelly. You know, do I love Fernet Branca? Yeah, it's awesome and
Yeah.
minty, but I don't know, this stuff's great, and I am all about bargain, lesser known alcohols that accomplish the same thing, essentially.
And
if not better.
give a family-owned company in the Czech Republic a little money.
Yeah, right?
Fernet Branca is getting plenty of cash
Yeah.
these days.
They're doing okay. With their hostile takeover of bartender enthusiasts.
And they're like zip-up hoodies.
Yeah, right,
and
exactly. All the swag.
I've never seen a Yelenic hoodie.
You know what? First time. Let's do it, dude. Me and you, let's make some Yelenic hoodies, dude. That sounds awesome.
Okay.
All right, where are we at here? You know what? We just did a stirred cocktail. All right, here we go. We're going to do another shaken cocktail. This cocktail I learned from Paul McGee. I think my recipe is a little bit different from his, but this is... a smash is a family of cocktails. So there are tons of different families. Or actually, there aren't that many. There's like 10, there are probably more, but I got to do that research. There are cocktail families, though. And a smash means a spirit, a citrus, an herb, and water. Or a sweetener. Water or sweetener, whatever. So we are going to smash some ingredients together using a muddler in our tin, and then we're going to shake this cocktail and pour it over some fresh ice. This is a ridiculously refreshing cocktail. You can use whiskey, you can use rum, you can use gin, you can use vodka, whatever you want. In this case, I'm using whiskey just because LaRob said he liked whiskey, so we're going to do that. I've got my beginning, my middle, and my end ready to go. Beginning ingredients, middle technique, and end right there. And this one, instead of using freshly squeezed lemon juice, I'm going to muddle 3 lemon wedges, which is a little bit different. It's just a little bit different than we normally do, but that's just the traditional way. Maybe there's something about getting the pulp in there. Maybe there's something about the bitter peel rind flavor. But you know, if you've ever made great lemonade, you put a couple pieces of lemon in there. So, and next I'm going to grab 6 mint leaves. You don't need to like slap the mint aggressively. Like I've done spiels about why I think slapping mint is a weird.
Should we keep that for a dispelling of
Yeah,
myth?
we'll keep that one.
Workshop.
You can get the same thing by loosely rubbing the leaves together in your hands instead of slapping the mint.
Yeah. If you like walk by wild mint and hit it with your leg,
Yeah,
you'll smell it.
exactly,
You don't need to
The most you
abuse
need,
it.
Exactly. The most you need to do is just loosely rub it between your fingers, or if you want to kind of hit it on your hand like that, that also works great. But you don't want all the oil to leach out on your hand. You want the mint leaves to express themselves into the cocktail. Okay, cool. Next, I'm going to put half an ounce of this Demerara sugar into this cocktail. If you have simple syrup, or if you have, this is Demerara syrup, not sugar. If you have simple syrup at home, you can use that as well. Just use a full ounce instead of the half an ounce. And that is totally cool. So this is also a really, really awesome cocktail if you want a non-alcoholic option. You just take the alcohol away and add soda water after you've muddled these ingredients, and it is to die for. It's lovely. And then I'm going to hit this right with one dash of orange bitters. So already this smells like orange and mint and lemon, which is like delicious already. So I'm going to muddle this. I love this muddler. This is food safe plastic. This is what we use behind the bar. It's like indestructible. You can whip it at the wall. I guess the reason why using lemon wedges isn't that popular is because you probably have less control of how much actual juice is getting in there. But I think that adds a lot to the rustic quality of this cocktail, especially since we're using wild California lemons that grew on my friend's tree, which is a fun treat. It's a fun California flex.
Dude,
right
don't
now.
hate the flex.
Yeah, dude, exactly. We're living large in here with our tasty California lemons here. Okay, you know what? I'm curious. I'm just going to try this.
Yeah.
Just take a tiny little spoon. Oh my god. Dude, that's so good.
Good.
Oh my god, yeah.
Put a
Here.
little in here.
You know what?
I'm sitting here, aren't I?
Yeah, right? Dude, that is to die for. Those lemons are so good. Like, come on. That's so good. And that's going to be even better with some alcohol added to it. I'm going to... Exactly. There we go. I think I wrote... Yeah, I just wrote whiskey. So I'm going to use bourbon. Right now you can use rye. You can use scotch. You can use any kind of whiskey for this whiskey smash. But I'm going to measure 2 ounces of...
Evil Will.
Evil Willie, as we call him. 2 ounces of bonded bourbon. Bonded, fun fact. So, okay, before I get into it, anyone hating on Evan Williams, I understand. The black label bottle is not great. But if you see white label Evan Williams and it says bottled in bond, bonded or bottled in bond means that it was distilled, aged, or barreled and aged all on the same premises, all by the same people, all under the watchful eyes of whomever the distilling master is, right?
Yeah.
Or that's what they call him, distilling master. What time is it? Is it 5:40?
5:43.
Hey, you want to go fill the meter?
Oh,
my
shit.
car.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ah!
Good job.
Here, I got a good sense for time.
I got it.
You got it?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Use the, here. Thank you, Autumn. Or whoever's going to refill the meter, you know. But, so,
can go.
bottled in bond.
I don't know what the car is, though.
It's just across the street, yeah.
I'd just be running
You got it
around
on?
Santa
Thank
Monica
you.
looking for a Forester.
Yeah. Which is a fun
I pay the meter on the wrong Forester.
Exactly, right? Tons of blue Subaru Foresters.
There's a
out
blue
here.
Forester.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So, Evan Williams, bottled and bond. The reason why I like using bottled and bond stuff is, for instance, Rittenhouse Rye is a bad example because this is also bottled and bond.
Yes.
But a non-bonded rye whiskey generally is made at the Seagram's plant in Indiana, which, no harm, Seagram's is doing their thing.
I've been to a wedding.
Yeah, exactly. But they make huge vats of distillate, if you will. So they make alcohol, and then these companies buy the distillate, like Bullet, like Templeton.
Knob Creek probably doesn't know.
Knob
or
Creek,
maybe not Knob Creek because they're a little bit higher up.
Yeah.
Bullet.
Other ryes, sometimes
Redemption.
Yeah,
maybe
probably
doesn't know.
I don't know. In any case, they buy their distillate and then they age it themselves and add whatever flavoring and then sell it as their own product, which is totally cool. That's a business model that works. And if you don't have to buy, or if you don't have to make your own distillate, you can really save a lot of money in the long run. However, the quality of it goes down. So that's why I like using stuff that says bottled in bond. It's like a legal requirement. The U.S. government, with their old liquor laws, if it says bottled in bond, it's made in the same house. Which I don't know. I think it has a better consistency, and I don't mean like physical consistency. I mean across bottles, things are more consistent. Like perfect example, Old Overholt Rye.
Oh, yeah.
Love Old Overholt
And OGD
Rye.
bonded.
Yeah,
which
well,
is a quality $20 bottle.
Indeed. But Old Overholt Rye, you'll get a bottle of that tastes amazing. And it's like $11 a liter or something insane. Yep. And it's so tasty. And then the bottle behind it on the shelf, you'll purchase and you'll use it to degrease your engine. It's so inconsistent and is really, really wild how inconsistent it is. But that's why we just use bonded stuff. Okay, enough talking. I'm going to shake this cocktail now because this is going to be the most fire whiskey smash ever.
Yeah.
So I'm filling up the large tin, 2/3 the way full with ice, and then we're definitely going to double strain this one because there's going to be lots of little mint pieces in there that we don't really want. So. Okay, cool. So this one, there we go. Get the ice crystals under my fingernails. I see the beautiful foam and the shredded mint. It smells really aromatic. I get sort of orange notes from it. Where is my fine strainer? Oh, right here. Cool. So, excuse me. I'm gonna pour this in. Oh yes, that is what we're looking for. This beautiful color. And then this is one of those moments, if you have crushed ice, for sure use crushed ice on this one. It'll be a lovely, summertime treat. And for those of you in cold weather right now, just pretend it's summertime and enjoy a really refreshing cocktail. Okay, here we go.
I've
Perfect.
seen people do like a berry cordial or some type of like a syrup finish on it too.
That's actually a whiskey fix is what that
Whiskey
one's called.
fix.
And that's generally blackberry liqueur.
Okay.
Here's why we double strain. You see this little icy mountain I got here of lemon pulp, of mint? Can you see it? Okay, I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
We don't want this floating in our beautiful cocktail. You see how this has like a nice little bubble ring across the top because we aerated it well? We don't want that little patty of ice diluting our drink, making it taste like grass because the mint has been on the alcohol for too long. That is a thing. I'm going to throw some ice cubes in here. And then, for a garnish of this guy, I want you to grab what's called a floret of mint, which means the top of a little stem. So, like where it gets really pretty, if you will, where the mint leaves are small and it almost looks like a little flower. So grab a few of those out of your mint bushel, or bouquet in this case, like that. And then you can either loosely touch them with your fingers, you don't have to like slap them, or you can kind of just hit them against the palm of your hand, no problem. And then find a hole in the ice is what Paul used to say, or like we used to joke about at 3 Dots. Find a hole in the cocktail where the mint leaves can go down to the bottom, sort of anchor themselves and nestle themselves in between ice cubes. And there you go. You got this beautiful little cocktail right there. Yeah, dude. And if you wanted to go further, you could put a piece of lemon in there. But I generally don't like to garnish cocktails with a whole piece of fruit because people will squeeze it into the cocktail and throw off the ratios, which we don't want. So, fun little fact there. And there we have it, a whiskey smash. You want this one on him? Or who wants this one? Yeah.
Sure.
Or anyone, I don't know.
I'll run it.
Yeah, here she goes.
I'm like, smash that parking meter, smash that cocktail.
Yeah.
Cheers. There we go, whiskey smash. That looks so good, I might have to make myself one.
Make another one real quick.
Class, right? Just make another one right now. Are there any questions?
Run it back.
Is anyone asking? Is anyone even here today? Who cares? We're just having.
Are we screaming into a void?
Yeah, exactly. Are we just making cocktails for ourselves once more?
Oh, your mom just said yummo.
Yummo. All right, Mom. Mom was getting a little turnt at the last cocktail class we did last week, a private class with her.
A little private hang.
That was hilarious.
Your friend Kelly Sullivan said cheers.
Hey!
Chris Revicamp,
Yeah.
he said, have your friend send some lemons this way.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And
Honestly.
then I said, Alex Cecilia's very good friends, very good lemons from his very good trees.
There we go. That's an easy sell. $50 a case.
Dude, heck yeah. California.
California, right? Yeah.
You have to pay shipping, bro.
Yeah, and it has to be rush shipped, and then you somehow have to be ready to pick it up in the freezing cold so they don't freeze on your doorstep in Chicago, right?
Something I never thought about, like the shortage of lemons.
Well, there was a lime
Look at
shortage.
that.
There was a serious lime shortage, and that is because of cartel activity in Mexico. They were holding it up. That was a whole thing when, like, oh my God, when
There's
a case
also-
of lime was like $100.
There's a bucatini shortage.
Oh,
Because of
yeah.
fucking Bon Appetit. Every pasta recipe calls for bucatini. You can't find bucatini.
Wow.
It's bought up like it's crazy.
All these home cooks and stoners are out there.
Yeah,
making,
dude.
you know.
So we're deciding that the other dog I was trying to adopt last week that
Yes.
didn't work out,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
they were named the Pasta Puppies, and they're all named after pasta.
Naming
So we have
all
to
the
come up
puppies
with
after
with
pasta.
a puppy name tonight, and we're like dead set on like tortellini.
Tortellini.
I like tortellini.
Tortellini's fun.
A farfalle.
Yeah,
That was one of
that's
them.
right.
Yeah.
We were saying that last week.
Buca?
Linguine,
Lasagna,
lasagna, right.
ravioli.
Yeah, cavatappi.
We're like just a little pasta running around.
Pasta puppies, man.
Gnocchi. Gnocchi's a good dog name.
Gnocchi, yeah.
I like.
And it's like a little dumpling. It'd have to be like a pug or something.
Yeah.
Gnocchi, dude. I love that. That's a fun name. I love pasta puppies, though. That sounds like a show, like an Italian children's show.
Great.
Pasta puppies.
It leads into the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Before the puppy bowl.
Oh, right.
Pasta
But it is a
puppies.
thing that when dogs have a litter and they're up for adoption, they do a themed kind of naming.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay,
Well,
right.
they told us
I can
today
see that.
because the dog doesn't know their name yet. So I think they named them all that just as like names to give them.
So they
but
remember,
then you can
yeah.
rename them whatever you want.
Got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I stick to the pasta name.
I like that.
Yeah, if you got a pasta
That's
name, that's
hilarious.
funny.
This dog's name is Espresso right now.
Espresso?
Which is also pretty cute.
That is cool.
That's really cute.
That's way cute, yeah. Dude, is he just chilling there on your lap while you...
He's,
How old is he?
this one is 6 years old.
Oh my god.
What?
6?
Just
That little pup was just running around here.
The vibe I
nonstop.
get is that he's the type that's like, once he's in the lap, he's like,
Oh, he
Okay,
does
what's
not move. Literally, if I move my arm too far, he goes like this to pull it closer.
Yeah.
This dog
It's
is
like a
attached.
lap.
yeah, that dog's Italian.
I love it. That dog's Italian. There we go. I love it, man.
LaRob says the whiskey smash is amazing.
Hell yeah, man.
And that you are a champion.
Dude, LaRob is a champion. There it is, dude. LaRob is a champion. Once again, for those of you who might be just joining us, we want to talk about Hearing in Color, LaRob's organization that works hard to break down white-dominated systemic structures in music specifically, because LaRob is a musician, but really all artistic spaces, whether that means hiring people of color like you should, or elevating the stories of the composers of people of color and giving those people the spaces they deserve to perform and tell their stories, because for far too long their stories have been cast aside by society as a whole. And no one is free of guilt in this situation. It's a tough pill to swallow for everyone involved, but the conversation is the first step, and LaRob and his organization are doing even more than that first step to make long-lasting yet incremental change in the landscape of just artistry and performing arts, I think, specifically in this case. So if you have any questions, check them out, hearingincolor.org. Although they are Chicago-based, their vision, I think, is global. And yeah, if you need to get in touch with LaRob, you can talk to me. You can send us a message at verygoodcocktails.com or on Instagram or whatever, to any of our organizations that we partner with. And we are happy to assist in making things happen. You never know who is watching or who is listening, or if someone, needs, or if someone is looking to do more charity work. It's really, really easy to get involved these days, I would say, with constant communication across the internet. So we are happy to help as much as we can. Our partners, Gold Diggers, here are happy to help as well. We're so grateful for this beautiful space, and it's really, really, like, this whole thing, this entire Very Good Cocktails shit started because someone told me, do it, you won't, and it ended up working out in favor of different nonprofits, raising money for them with cocktail classes, and it's been a lot of fun so far, for sure. So I think we have one more cocktail,
We gotta go back.
Exactly, which we have done
Back
before.
to the rack.
I think we've done a Sazerac before.
We have done a Sazerac before. Maybe first or second episode.
Maybe episode 1.
I think so.
Which was out of my kitchen. We have come a long way since then. It's crazy. This is episode 12, man.
Look at us.
Yeah,
a dirty dozen.
Exactly, dude. Causing problems for our sleep patterns and well.
What sleep pattern, bro?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Right, exactly. Okay, cool. We're gonna make the tried, true, and trusted Sazerac. Where is my mixing glass? Right here. Cool. This is such a killer classic cocktail. This is a New Orleans cocktail. Honestly, one of my favorites. You can use cognac if you want. A cognac Sazerac is to die for. In this case, I'm going to use rye because I like the traditional method. But we're going to chill a glass first. So let's grab there we go. Let's grab a glass. And this cocktail is served up. I have so many different thoughts about how people describe whiskey. Like, generally speaking, if someone sits out in the bar and says, I want whiskey straight up, that generally doesn't mean what they think it means. Straight up means chilled, diluted, and served without ice in it. So if when this cocktail is done, it will be served up. What that person who said, I want whiskey straight up, probably means is they would like it neat, which just means out of the bottle. Nothing added, room temperature, which is also an awesome way to enjoy your favorite liquor. But we're going to be serving this one up. Up is my preferred style of cocktail. I think, I don't know, when we order cocktails at the bar, Autumn, we're generally getting a daiquiri and like a Martinez or something served up. You know?
Yeah. They don't like over dilute or die.
Exactly.
Because it's a finished story.
Exactly. And like that being said, you've said it so well before, there's something about an old fashioned once the ice melts and like the end is like a sweet, you know, like watery, you know, if you like playing with ice as well, like oral fixation style thing, that's totally cool too. Yeah, just the sound of ice, it's satisfying, especially really good ice.
Mom's awake.
Yeah, Mom's awake. Is that what she just said?
Hear that?
You hear the ice
I hear that
clicking?
click clack. I hear
Oh
that
my
click clack.
Mom's awake.
That happened in my house.
Mom's awake. Oh my god. We're
Monkey 57 on the rocks.
We're gonna start off with Peychaud's bitters. This is a really essential thing for your bar at home. Bitters are not expensive. A bottle of Angostura will last you more than a year. Even the bottle I have at home, and I'm teaching cocktail classes almost full time, we haven't really put a dent in it because we're using so little at a time. So this is a really inexpensive, for the long run, product to have on your back bar. It's like a star anise bitter additive, if you will. Mm-hmm. So 1, 2, 3 dashes. That's it. This also won't come out of your clothes. Most bitters, they have enough oil in them, and it's like a dyed oil because of all the spices and oils. It won't come out of your clothes. We don't want that.
This is a non-FDA regulated dye.
Yeah, exactly. And next we're going to add a 1/4 ounce of our 2-to-1 Demerara syrup. Just like that in there. And then, like I said, I'm using rye whiskey. The traditional method is rye. You can use cognac, though. Try it with cognac at home, and I guarantee it'll be hitting. Cool. And 2.5 ounces is what I have written, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So a little on the stiffer side, but, you know, that's how I learned to make them.
Spirit-forward cocktail.
It is. It is. Thank you for saying that, Autumn. So that's another great way to describe a cocktail. If I were to sit at a bar and the bartender says, "What would you like to drink?" and I wanted something like the Whiskey Smash, I would say I want something shaken and refreshing. If I wanted something like the Toronto or the Sazerac, I would say I would like something spirit forward, meaning I'm going to taste that alcohol. The spirit will be the forward part of the flavor, if that makes sense. So pretty simple, but you know, I'm excited for everyone who watches our little show to, you know, treat bartenders right when they go back to work.
Yeah.
And know how to order a little bit better and know how to, you know, how to
It's almost like they'd be thankful.
Yeah.
For all the nights.
What a concept.
Gratitude.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It is. And we're going to stir this cocktail. All right. And before we're done stirring this cocktail, I'm going to show you one of the most important parts of this cocktail. Also, in my opinion, one of the more fun parts as well, if you have the right tools. So you'll notice it might look like I'm holding the jar, but I'm not. My hands are just holding it in place to make sure it doesn't fall off. My hands are 90 degrees or 100 degrees because of body heat. I don't want that melting the cocktail. One of the things I see in the private classes a lot is people holding their stuff and shaking, you know, like
churning butter.
Exactly. We're just lightly rotating the ice around the glass, and I'm holding this with like just the pads of my index and thumb fingers to keep this from sliding off the bar, because this will explode if it hits the ground. Crystal like turns into powder. It doesn't just crack. Cool. All right, so this is still cooking. I'm going to take my glass that I've been so lovely, that has been so nicely chilling, and I'm going to do what we call an absinthe rinse. So for all those of you guys who purchased the big bottle of absinthe, you're going to laugh because we're going to use so little of it at once. But the cool thing about alcohol is that it doesn't really go bad. So you have that bottle of absinthe forever to chill on your shelf. There are lots of applications for absinthe. In this case, I'm going to rinse the glass. I have an atomizer. This is like $8. I'm just going to put enough in the glass to give it an aroma of the black licorice, of the star anise. I don't want to taste the absinthe. I want to just smell it. And you can probably smell it from here. You know? Like, just like that.
Yep.
You know, it's
yep.
like
a little good and plenty.
Exactly. Yeah. Half like licorice, black licorice flavor, aroma without the flavor is what we are always looking for. So I have my glass absinthe rinsed. If you don't have an atomizer, just take a couple drops of absinthe, swirl it around in the glass like this to coat the bottom, and then pour out the residual.
And pour it into your mouth for the guests.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Guests love when you drink in front of them. Let me tell you.
Especially out of their glass.
Yeah.
COVID?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this cocktail is about done. The outside is getting a little bit condensated, and I'm going to pour this in to my glass. That is perfect, just like that. So this is up. It has been chilled, it's been diluted, and it's been poured into a chilled glass without ice. And then the last step for this cocktail, this is like a chefy thing, but another restaurant hack, is we're gonna peel our lemon. We don't want any of the fruit, right? I peeled that pretty perfectly there. We don't want any of the fruit. We just want the rind, because the rind has all the oil in it. So what we're going to do is what I said earlier, we're going to express this across the top. So when you do that, you just squeeze it and kind of go a couple times back and forth across the top of the cocktail, and then rub the lemon peel on half the glass is fine. But even now I can smell the lemon. It's a really, really powerful scent. And then I'm going to discard this lemon peel because I want this to smell like lemon but not taste like lemon. So it's like a little brain trick. We used to, when I worked at Paris Club Bistro and Bar in Chicago, we would put lemon on our arms, like express lemon on our arms. So when I put drinks across the bar or food across the bar, it always smelled really nice and fresh. Just a little hack as well. So yeah, there we go. That is a Sazerac. I'm going to take a quick taste of this one. Ah! It's so good.
Does it slap?
It's so good, dude. It's like... What I love about it is that there's zero burn whatsoever because it is properly diluted. Are you okay? You're gonna come back.
Espresso.
Totally come back.
Come
this
here,
way.
espresso.
Kenzie's climbing over the bar. I love this.
Espresso.
That's espresso.
No.
No.
That dog's name is Tristan.
This
Oh.
is Tristan.
We're calling-
Espresso's the one I'm
Espresso's the
gonna...
one.
Okay.
That's Tristan.
Gotcha.
You know what then? Don't care.
Yeah, right.
Because that's not Mackenzie's dog.
Here we have a beautiful Sazerac. Who wants this one?
Mackenzie.
You want this one, Kenzie?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Unless you want it was.
A little Sassy.
But I'm like,
Malay.
make another Toronto.
Yeah, I
Or a
might.
Smash.
You know what? I want to make another smash and we'll split it. So
Split.
let's make another. We're gonna make one more cocktail. That'll be 6 today that we've made, which is 2 more than our usual 4. Are there any questions or anything? Anyone commenting or saying anything?
No.
No.
I mean, my dad said, we're here.
Hey,
We're
what's
turning and
up?
burning too, dude. It's been an hour.
Has it really?
Not even.
Well, and Jackson
Jackson Kidder.
Kidder, yeah, he said these cocktails pair well with actually 500 beers.
Hey, dude. Wait a minute. Jackson knows that. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, because my birthday. I wrote for the ingredients list. I said 500 beers.
Yeah, 500 beers.
500 beers was which I actually
2
stole.
gallons of Malort.
Exactly, and I stole Jackson. So, fun fact: Bone Lang Rider. If you know Bone Lang, the band in Chicago, for the longest time, I don't know if it still says it, but their rider just said on it 200 beers. That's all it said. Nothing else. They didn't say what kind of beer. They didn't care. They just said 200 beers, which I don't know if I think they sold out Lincoln Hall, and I don't know if they got 200 beers or not.
Lincoln Hall had the money for that. They should've-
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and especially if you think about like, if you're a venue operator, you're going to do that in kegs. And
Yeah.
what's in a keg, right? 130 beers?
Well, that's 130 pints. Or no, it's like 110 pints if you do it right. So
right.
I would say
So 110 beers. So,
I mean, well, I think they want it canned, but
if someone rolled up with 2 kegs,
with 2 kegs, I would
with
be
a tapper,
exactly.
I'm
With
not. Honestly, dude, I know a guy named Ryan
Green Room Kegger. Oh,
that makes
sure,
a great
sure.
tap bartender.
Indeed.
You put him on 1 keg for the night, he's got it.
tap bartender. Dude, that's
A Hawaiian shirt
All right,
and his brute strength.
We're going back. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt and brute strength. All right, we're gonna crush these lemons again. We're gonna muddle them while the ladies here play with Tristan, who's hanging out, being
Dog
such
break.
a good boy.
Being a good boy.
And then here we go. We're back to our whiskey smash.
But he's not a boy, he's a man.
He is. He's no longer a puppy.
6 times 7 is
42.
42. Middle-aged man.
Is
Over the hill,
For the hell
as
with
they
you,
say.
Tristan.
He's having a midlife crisis. That's why he's so scared.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's scared of all the other
he
men.
needs to go buy a Harley.
We're like,
He
bro,
needs to
I
go-
feel you.
He's gonna
Yeah.
go buy a Harley or
Yeah.
buy a bike. of
You
some
need
kind.
a T-top Corvette.
Yeah.
Miata.
I
God,
think
dude.
also
Gonna rev the engine by the middle school.
his mom is gay, so I don't think he's around many men. So he's
Oh,
terrified of men.
Oh,
I hear you. Same, bro. Love it.
many men.
Alright, so I have my 6-ish mint leaves in here. I'm going to muddle this again. Where is he? There he is. Yes. We're going to You know what? This is maybe not the best cocktail to order from a bartender. They'll hate you for making them muddle. But, you know, that being said, if you sit at my bar, I will make you 100% whatever you ask for any day of the week. I won't give you shit for it.
I can attest.
No good bartender should give you shit for making for you making them make cocktails. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's your job.
Yeah.
It's my job. So
Shouldn't get, well, what Gen Z says vibed.
yeah,
right?
you shouldn't get
Shouldn't be
vibed.
getting vibed at the bar.
I mean, that's a musician's term too. I need to add whiskey to this.
That's true, but that opens up a bigger conversation about respecting the people that are working.
Tune in next week
Yeah, right.
while we
exactly.
dispel a myth.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't really hate you. We hate your attitude.
There it is. And next week, by the way, before I forget, I'm happy to announce, I haven't put this anywhere on the internet yet, but I will be joined next week by my dear friend CJ Catalano, an incredibly talented bartender who's hilarious and a homie of mine from Chicago. Actually, I think he's from here, but he moved to Chicago for a while, and now he's out here. He runs the beverage program at the Fairmont Plaza Hotel, a luxury
Heard of it?
Hollywood. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And he is a really awesome mind to pick about so many different cocktails and questions and stories. He's going to be a lot of fun to have here. So we're going to be standing over here together having a good time next week. And I have all sorts of questions for him. And I think we'll be raising money for Art Beyond the Glass, which is a bartender organization that helps bartenders who are artists, as like visual artists as well. I think it helps get their art off the ground and gives them a really cool platform. So,
Cool.
And they've also been doing a lot of work for bartenders during this pandemic as well. So that'll be really fun. He's got some and they're original cocktails of his, which is going to be super fun. They're not just super classics. They're
It's going to be really fun.
like literally what he makes and serves at his bar. So that'll be really fun. And now I'm going to shake this cocktail and we're going to enjoy the hell out of it. Here we go. There we go. 2/3 of the way full. Shaking, looking for that maraca sound. Beautiful. I know it's done because there's ice forming on the outside that I can get under my fingernails. You can hear the air trying to escape. I see the foam on the inside. And I'm going to double strain this to keep all of that mint and the lemon pulp out of there. Man, this smells so good. I'm glad Mom and Rob are making cocktails for us. It's so fun. Yeah. What's that?
That looks so good.
This
It's
cocktail?
like definitely kind of. I got some of the whiskey sours for a minute, and it's like just a different version of that. That's
It's got
really
mint.
good.
Mint.
Yeah.
It's got mint and orange bitters in it. It's so good.
and
Oh wait, what am I doing? Sorry, Trent.
Oh, you're good, dog. There was a whiskey sour moment at y'all's place.
Yeah, we were
I
doing.
feel like
this
there was like a sour era.
sour era.
I mean,
we
we
were
look back on
definitely-
the past year. It's like we had Mai Tai moment.
What a great way to get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had a Mai Tai moment.
you guys think this
No
is for
more
you.
than 48 hours ago,
Yeah.
we were having a Mai Tai moment.
Dude, literally, we were making Mai
Fine.
Tais at Trent's house the other day. It was awesome.
You
And
define
ribs.
times.
And ribs, dude. Trent made fire.
Look at us. How lucky are we?
Ribs, right?
We're very
Vacation.
fortunate.
We're very, very grateful. Okay, so remember earlier I took the floret of the bouquet. This is a floret. This is like the top. And if you want to be super cute about it, you can just use one little tiny piece. Or in this case, like if you're running out of mint florets, this is what you do. But yeah, just a little thing. Hit it on the heel of your hand, or you can flick it with a finger, whatever, and then toss it in just like that. And the idea is you want it above the surface of the cocktail so that you can really smell the mint and get that aroma, which is what we're looking for. So here we go, Trent. Cheers.
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 Chivoli.
Yeah, right. Cheers to LaRob Payton. If you're still standing, watching, after making drinks with us this entire time. But cheers to you and your organization, Hearing in Color. We are honored here at Very Good Cocktails to be helping raise some money for you. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I just needed to drink some of this because it's so comically refreshing. Super heavy on the lemon. I mean, I'm speechless.
You could put it in front of a child.
Yeah, you honestly,
You really
could.
It's so dangerous, dude.
It's like mint lemonade with a little bit of bourbon. It's like, it's what I wish mint juleps tasted like.
Yeah.
I've never loved
It's what they should be drinking at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, that is our show for the week. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos and all that.
Order the gold fashioned syrup.
Order our
It's
tasty
delicious.
gold fashioned syrup. Today, oh my God, I forgot to mention that we're raffling off a bottle of this. So I'm going to be shuffling through the donations, and some lucky person will have this show up at their door. This is our proprietary syrup that we make here in house. We're super proud of it, and it'll make your cocktail dreams come true at home for sure. Or you know what? If you're not a drinker, it's really, really great in coffee, in tea. If you put it into some milk and froth it up into a beautiful allspice cinnamon cappuccino, do it, you won't.
You can bake cookies with it.
Oh my
Put it on
God!
pancakes.
Oh my
Pancakes.
God! Yeah. What
Make
else?
some sort of butter with it.
Yep.
Right.
Make a compound butter.
You totally
a
could.
little maple butter.
You can put it on anything. It's non-alcoholic, which is really fun. So we're really proud of it, and it comes with a little instruction manual on how to use it for liquor building purposes and whatnot. But yeah, that's, like I said, that's what we have for you today, and we're excited for next week as well. It'll be a really, really good time. I guarantee it. And yeah, if you have any questions, shoot us a message or an email or whatever. But thank you, and good evening to you guys. Enjoy. I'm going to enjoy the shit out of this whiskey smash, man. Cheers, guys.